New case 3. Don't quite remember where I left off, to be honest. It's been, I want to say 2-3 days since I played this game. But oh well. Let's do it. Anger is one of the most natural and basic emotions a human can experience. Anger makes you forget the pain and worries, the dangers you face, and focuses your energy. All your rage is bundled up and ready to be let loose. Therefore, along with fear, it is one of the most human emotions that we have the most control over. The young man's body language and posture has anger written all over it. It's midnight, and the streets and alleyways are soaked in the shimmering veil of the streetlights. Coincidentally, the people mulling are soaked too, albeit in lies, trying to forget their problems and blind themselves to the truth that surrounds them. He wants no part of that. Right now, he has no concerns. His target's out there celebrating, like a hunter successfully having killed his prey. The target has friends with him. They're loud, noisy, and attracting attention, lacking any semblance of etiquette. His target's approaching him with dragging steps, lightly wobbling from side to side. He is obviously very intoxicated. The teenager's steps are quick and powerful. He's a man on a mission. No one here seems to have expected him to ever return. Zach, you how? He's quickly pushed aside, sending him trembling backwards. Who is it? What's going on out there? Frank shouting is coming from outside. Zach can feel onlookers staring at him, but he doesn't care one bit. Zach picks the man, grabs him by the collar, and violently pushes him against a nearby wall. Zach, dude, man, calm down. Calm down, please. Zach chooses to react to the plea with a quick, forceful strike to his fist. Crap! Please! I was wrong! I was wrong, bro! Now. Don't break that quickly. Actually, he had a more depressed voice, didn't he? I don't remember his voice anymore. Now. Don't break that quickly. I was gonna ask you something. I want you to be very clear. Instead of his words, Zach continues to be his friend and teach him a lesson. I don't exactly have a deep, relaxing sleep last night. Zach's sudden departure has put everyone on edge. It's exhausting, even for me, who is still squirming around the bookstore. Waiting for Nico and Justin to give me an update on gives me ample time to search for anything useful information Nico provided me so far. She's scourged so many online communities and forums about Matto that there is enough material to guarantee me a headache or two. There have been too many trivial interruptions, and fractured information circling around my brain is more annoying than somebody constantly whispering in my ear. Is that a complete sentence? Whatever, doesn't matter. When the time has come to open the store, I rush the door in a desperate attempt to save myself from this tedious, stressful investigation. But some things just aren't meant to be. I wanted your professional opinion on where you might have run to. Didn't expect you actually to drag this guy back here. You know the deal. It's better to catch them. It's better to catch them than having to catch up to them. Catch ball off. I was walking around town aimlessly when I got a call from an old friend in the police force. He had something, shall we say, interesting to share with me. We were very lucky that he still did me a favor. Really on the right people. Anyway, what did he do? Well, it sounds our buddy here nearly sent a whole group of guys to the morgue last night. Please tell me that's an exaggeration. I'd be a lot happier right now if they actually end up in the morgue. Zach's voice is still full of resentment and anger. He's covered in scratches and bruises, and his clothes look torn. Looking at him makes me glad it wasn't Slew that found him. You know how much trouble it was to get you out of a situation like that. Thanks. He still seems angry, but at least he appreciates the help he got there. So, did it turn out to be the right guy? Now it took a few punches for him to talk. A few? You almost ended up precinct. This guy looks like somebody who's in for batting practice. He deserved all of that and more. Don't make me repeat myself. Let it go. So what's his angle? What could have possibly happened to him to hold such a grudge against you? It's nothing like that. Actually, it's pretty simple. He sold me out to someone else. Sold you out? Whatever happened to law and order in the city? Someone's offered a bounty, 20,000 to be exact, for pretty much anyone who can be snatched up without causing an uproar. It's a pretty recent development. I haven't had much contact with anyone else, so I did know about it, well, up till now. And it doesn't sound like he was planning on giving you your fair share. I start putting these pieces together in my head. They call it mining. Makes it sound harmless, like some kind of Bitcoin farming gig. Turns out it's a lot darker than that, and it's people that are being mined. That's a lot of money. I heard that there are several other gangs doing this, mostly the established ones who have been around for years. Law enforcement's become a lot stricter lately. No one in the right mind would do something that risky. It's not something you can stop doing once you're entangled in it. To me, it sounded like Jeremy didn't see it the other way, and it was pretty desperate financially, that asshole. And that's why he sold you out, you and Fatty out to those guys? Damn it. I just hate myself being so blind. I don't know how I could ever consider him my brother. Mention Jerry's name is enough to set Zach off again. I can almost feel the heat illuminating from his anger flare-ups. That is not a word. Emanating. Whatever. Fatty might have gone away, just like Zach, but there's no way of reaching him. That in itself makes any form of comfort seem like self-deceit. Zach has no clue where Fatty could be, and Jeremy swore he didn't know anything, even after being threatened violence. So far, Fatty hasn't tried to reach out to Zach. Zach might be reckless and impulsive, but he's not brainless. So, who's paying the money? And where are those people being taken? I don't know. It sounded like it had something to do with a restaurant. I couldn't understand him too well, with him missing most of his teeth and all. Bringing us back to your bizarre definition of a few punches. Make me repeat that, and all of it was completely deserved. Here we go again. I'd like another go at him too. So anyway, you said something about a restaurant? Many similar clues began to interweave. For a moment, I have no idea how to tell Zach about Justin's discovery and what I'm thinking about. If those not a fit, I won't know how to stop him. Wait a minute. I found it. It's true that there's a restaurant called Country Taste in the Sanjing building. That's a problem. What? How so? It looks like an old traditional establishment, but the waiters seem really new and unskilled. When I snuck a peek, they were super lazy and barely awake. I heard from the customers that the menu is drastically changed. It sounds quite bad. The dishes are way too salty. So they changed up the menu, but the place is still called Country Taste? If you ask me, I think the place looks like it was recently acquired by new owners who haven't figured anything out yet. If you yourself call something chaotic, it must be serious. I managed to get my hands on our tax records, and there's been a sharp decline recently. Some must have changed. Everyone has to eat, and restaurants tend to have loyal customers unless they mess up somehow. Also, I took a look at the building's layout and construction plans. Their back door doesn't lead outside, but leads further inside the building instead, which isn't the case for normal businesses. That's not unusual, is it? It might be just a residential space that was converted into a commercial one. That's what I'm concerned about. The building's surveillance must be a closed-circuit system, and I can't intercept the signal from outside. Slilla's helping me look for Wi-Fi access inside. Don't overdo it. She's not as experienced as you are. Don't worry. Have a look at everything I've gathered that seems out of place to me somehow. Transmitting now. Over and out. Nico hangs up, and my phone starts buzzing. She's sending me lots of data. Building layouts, ownership, registration information, tax records. What did you ask Nico to investigate? Asked her to check out something that I think could very well be helpful. Slill's with her too. You mentioned restaurants today, and given that the current state of affairs, I couldn't really leave it alone. You know how it is. Just as Nico suspected, the records show that the restaurant has changed hands. Other than that, There's a lot of information linking the group to trouble with the law. This includes a picture of a man who's been taken into the police station. The man's criminal record is long enough to look like a receipt, although there are all minor issues like picking fights here and there. Still have a hard time picturing a guy like that working in a restaurant. Justin, you said the villagers mentioned a foreigner wearing red passing through? No, that's right. It is red and no ears. At least, that's what the kid told me. Exactly the same as... what are you looking at? Whoa, I love how they used whoa, but they've done both spellings of whoa there. So you get the incorrect spelling and the correct spelling merged into one whoa. Why? I've never seen my spell whoa like that. Alright, let's try that again. What are you looking at? Oh, isn't that Jeremy's gang leader? What? The Street Tigers have a reputation in the area. They're notorious and have more than 20 members. Imagine that. So many more idiots like him. But I haven't seen that guy lately. Where'd you guys see him? I'm starting to rethink my original suspicions. Oh, okay. Oh, we have 4 clues. I think we're gonna be able to get this one. Is it a coincidence that don't have at the same time? There's other dangerous situations go on in Matto. I feel like that's gonna not be it, but it does seem relevant. I mean, that's definitely relevant. For some reason, Zach was attacked by delinquents. Yeah, I mean, that goes with that one. I mean, it's gotta be, right? Yeah, okay. Outsider's plan. Bingo. It's a shame life is so ungrateful. Finding the answer is hard work after all. What's up? I think I figured out where they would have taken had they been successful. You think it's that country taste place, right? Justin has also noticed that something's foul here. He and I are the ones investigating 2 incidents at the same time. Though, maybe they're not so separate after all. You have no time to lose. He told me about the gangsters going around town mining. At the exact same time, a gang leader starts managing a restaurant. According to Nico, the restaurant doesn't look like it's professionally handled the business at all. Wait. Oh, I was doing... I've done several lines of Justin that I've done for Zach. Oh well. You think the restaurant's being used as a front? The restaurant doesn't have an actual back door. It leads inside the building instead. Not really a common design choice, is it? It takes a lot of supplies to run a restaurant, and if they'll be delivered at the front entrance, there's no way they could open on time. It'd take ages. But there's one scenario in which that could be an advantage. If you want to kidnap and hide a lot of people, the biggest problem is how to make the hideout less noticeable. Think about it. The building's owned by a group of people with eccentric beliefs, and the restaurant owner is a known criminal. You have to admit, that does sound like a recipe for a shady business. Just takes out his phone and double checks the building layout Nico sent. The lower floor is the restaurants. There's also a kind of shop in there. From the 7th floor onwards, most of the rooms are rented by various companies as office space. With so many people around, it's hard to avoid praying eyes. It looks like somebody's improvised an office building to create a retail space instead. The north part looks like residential in comparison. My god, have you ever seen a building put together like that? I can't say I have. The architect must have been smoking something. Apart from the back door and the lower shops, the only passage is the one for the garbage disposal. It's just one big stuffed place. There's spark just as I, but Zach seems to think our suspicions are a little premature. So they kept people from outside, use restaurants covered to get into the building, and after a while, they can leave without anyone noticing anything suspicious. There have been several disappearances all over Mata lately, and people from UI Village have disappeared for a while now too. Do you think there's a connection between the two? You have to figure out the exact timing and make comparisons. I'm not 100% sure yet. The question now is how two groups connected, and when and how they start getting involved with each other. I have a feeling we won't like whatever we find. Please don't let me be some insane human sacrificing again. It happened a while ago, but I'm still bothered by the collective amnesia. Scarlett said their amnesia wasn't drug-induced, but if you consciously bury memories like that, there has to be a deeper purpose. Do you know if any rituals fit that bill? I don't really know. I've gone through the books I could find the subject already. Alas, we know nothing. We're even more confused than before. Fantastic. Knock knock, guys. Rituals? Ceremonies? Why the hell are you throwing those words around so much? Don't worry. Do you really think that medicine you took yesterday was for drowsiness? The world may just be a little bigger than common sense, would have you believe. Whether it's strange beliefs or monsters, all of it exists. If you don't want to take my word for it, just ask Khalil. She met the store manager before I did. You don't need to hear everything from me. Believe it or not, your choice. Believe it or not, your choice. A few days ago, it was just as clueless as you. People died because of it. That's something I don't want to ever happen again. What? You mean people are gonna die? What's all this about? I can't tell you any more about it. I'll tell you more about it when we have time. I can ignore Zach's inquiries for now and turn back to Justin. Is there a way to gain control over this somehow? How about one of your contracts at the Bureau? That'd be a problem. It's been very busy over there lately, and there's more pressing personal issue as well. What is it? Well, being the guy that cried wolf. Sorry I made that happen. It's fine. But why are you suddenly motivated? Is it because Nico's not around? We're doing things differently this time. Before we had a vague idea of what we were getting ourselves into, this time there's news pretending to be experts. We'll be more cautious, I promise. With so many people involved, there's always one person who cracks under pressure. We'll wait until you find a weak spot. That makes sense, but then again, last time, everything made sense too. I'll think of something, okay? It won't be easy, but there's bound to be trouble. Saving people is never easy. Anyway, Zach, you... Huh? I looked left and right, but there's no trace of Zach. He just bolted off the screen during one frame, and never looked back. Where did he wander off to? Ooh, new music. Right now, it's possible to tell the difference between Zach's temper and an erupting volcano. He didn't even wait until the store manager finished speaking. He was angry at the others for not making him aware of how serious the situation was much earlier. This time, he left the silence, simply without anyone noticing. His pulses got the better once again, urging him to act instead of planning things with others until it might be too late. Ever since he was a child, he's been in a constant state of confusion. Why do other people want to study so hard? Is it wrong to be brave? Is standing up for others worth it? What will his life turn out to be? Everything happens, unfolds, and ends before he knows it. Always, this has to change. It's time for initiative. Of course, he is gonna save the day. How? He hasn't thought that through yet. He still doesn't know. Think twice before acting is a valuable trait, but what if there isn't enough time for that? By the time he regains his senses and can think a little more clearly again, the Saint building is already towering over him. The exterior is only dimly lit. The building's fast shade shows clear signs of age. It's almost run down. Zach is used to depressing places that close to fall apart, but seeing the peeling paint, the old stains, and withered vines crawling along the building's walls, he gets a weird feeling from looking at it. If anything, this only makes the temper run even hotter. Zach takes looks around. This place is a long way from the bustling city center. On a regular weekday, the area around this building is even less populated than usual. Still, there are a few people going about their business. He remembers how the store manager described the building's odd structure back in the bookstore. Knowing more about the layout gives Zach a sense of confidence. He collects thoughts and steps the building. He feels like a small boat drifting off into a looming uncertainty of the unpredictable. Dark sea at night. It's already long past lunchtime, and the restaurant, equally as dilapidated as the building's exterior, doesn't have a single guest. A few buzzing flies are the only thing keeping the board waiters company. Even Zach is taken aback by their carefree, wholly uninterested attitude. Because Starman has suspicions, Zach decides to act more like a thug. If it could prove helpful to make him fit in, Zach quickly makes his way across the rustic lobby. He doesn't stop for a second. The sooner he finds a safe spot without anyone around, the better. He can't help but notice the crude faces of the waiters. Stern, hauled eyes, expressions that ooze hostility. One thing's for sure, it's nightmare fuel. If he could ever fall asleep in the first place, that is. The facial features that somehow seem off and unnatural have a strong impact on Zach. To our person, they might just be a little ugly, but Zach knows better, making the fear run all that much deeper. It's important to him. If it weren't, he would have turned around and run, trusting his instincts, but there's only a thin line that marks the point of no return, and he can't afford luxuries such as fear right now. The room he's in is only sparsely lit. It seems well maintained, and luckily for him, there's no one else around. No, at least for now. An oppressive vial of humidity covers the entire room. Zach's skin is sensitive to the touch of the cold metal around him, which helps him focus. The lower floors of the restaurants. There are also some kinds of shops in there. From the 7th floor onwards, most of the rooms are rented by various companies as office space. With some people around, it's hard to avoid prying eyes. It looks like someone improvised an office building to create retail space instead. The northern part looks residential in comparison. Apart from the back door and lower shops, the yellow passage is for the garbage disposal. It's just one big stuffed place. The first 2 floors are restaurants. Maybe taking a look further up is the way to go. It isn't likely that there would be enough room for many people in the kitchen in the back. But the 2nd floor is somehow more suspicious than the one the country taste is on. Is there a way to go up further? Zach circles the room and open the door to the fire escape. The narrow hallway urging into it as fast as possible. At least the southern part is a typical office layout. The corridor extends to the left and right. Winding? What? Winding? Sure. Winding around the corner, about 40-50 meters away, connecting to the other side of the building. If no altercation is made, there should be 3 rooms per floor. Examining each and every one of them obviously is impractical. Zach has a tough choice to make. Okay. Where to now? I don't think it matters, does it? Go to the 5th floor, why not? The door to the 5th floor is closed. Zach tries to take a peek inside through the narrow slit beneath the door. His field of vision is very limited, so he can't see the corridor in its entirety, but there are clearly apartments around here. The north and south sides of the building may have housed offices once, but not anymore. At least it seems highly unlikely that people would hang up their dirty laundry in an office aisle. A slim, young delinquent is standing in the corridor, looking bored out of his mind. He's humming off-key tune to himself while playing it on his phone with his head down. He looks familiar, but Zach can't remember where he's seen him before. This floor might barely be the game ever staying. In any case, as long as someone's there, further investigation is not an option. Well, if someone's there, further investigation is not an option, so we try to lean in and eavesdrop, I guess. Zach puts the door and focuses on the sounds coming from beneath it. Bits and pieces of a TV show run in the background, mixed with the sound of hip-hop music. Zach knows this type of soundscape. It's pretty typical for when guys together dance, chat, and play cards. Somebody is moving around on this floor, but everything is muted by the door. For now, that's all Zach can hear. Okay. I guess try the 4th floor. The actual layout of the 4th floor differs in the blueprints Nico provided. The cellar rooms seem to appear to have been merged into one, leaving only one entrance to the corridor. The other rooms have arranged in a pattern too. In addition to 2 normal-sized rooms, there's another room near the east side of the building, leaving only a small door in the gap in the hallway. As for the southernmost room, it's locked up tight with no visible way in or out. There isn't a single window at all in the hallway. The walls are covered in square marks indicating a new plaster. The floor is very quiet, as if it's been soundproofed, and you can barely hear the sound of the cars outside. I think I'll do room C first. This is a room that's unlocked. Oh, okay. The door is halfway open already, revealing a small glimpse of what's inside. Should I go in? Zach's intuition is warning him. In his mind, the door in front of him resembles a lion's den. He still knows that something important lies beneath it, but there's also a sense of looming danger. He keeps telling himself, if I step through this door, there's no turning back. Zach hasn't explored all the other floors yet, but he can enter anyways. So what should I do? I guess we're gonna not do that yet. And he said these are locked, so... Water? Give me water. Anyway, now it's not the time to waste any effort in this door. Okay. It's locked, the door won't budge one bit, no matter how Zach pushes. It doesn't have a keyhole, making Zach wonder how the owner intends to open it. Anyway, now it's not time to waste any effort on this door. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's do the 6th floor. Why not? The door to the 6th floor is closed. The door has obviously been reinforced at some point, and even the smallest slits and seams are completely sealed off. Zach checks the door thoroughly, ultimately arriving at the conclusion that there's zero chance of getting through. Eager to find the smallest clue, Zach steps close to the door and attempts to eavesdrop. We cannot accept. A muffled voice is growling. I could probably do a muffled voice. You know, this is a place we deal. You won't find another place around here. I see to across this one. There's nothing I can do with those fucking or skill, technique, advanced. They are unworthy. That's hard to believe in light of recent failures. I need their help to affect the safe water supply, but how do you trust me to this particular transformation technique? This is not complex. Don't be unreasonable. Hey, how can you compare to a procedure to transform the flesh of the procedure through the brain? If you think about it, it's similar to pouring drugs in water supply so that people are unconscious, greatly mistaken. The unnecessary rituals and materials to gather to let people down the guard and accept everything with the bottom of their hearts. Almost complexity. And as you're curious about what you guys have been up to the past few years in Yellow Village, and it has nothing to do with that. You should keep experimenting and learning. We can't let the thugs get rid of the failures. The actual yield rate is shockingly low, but so far the process has been surprisingly hassle-free. We're furious. Considering the state of the building, I wonder how there's even a big enough water supply. If we don't work harder and meet the standards, everyone here will be in trouble. Oh yeah? You're not gonna treat them the same as us, are you?
Everyone here should be local. They're never doing faces. You talk a lot. You play with fire. Anyway, the prophecy is what it is. And it's up to you to believe it or not. It's been almost half a month since we've seen the drug supplier in the East District. And the Visionary Society members will be leaving the city soon. That should be work in your favor. You stand the path, won't you? Or have you lost the courage to do great things?
I have no idea how it's going to sound on the mic, but it was fun. Alright. Most of the parts of the conversation were inaudible, and I'm sure it was when I read it too. But Zack still heard the clear anger and malice beneath the words. That and several strange, identifiable noises. This isn't a good spot to hang around for long, and this isn't the kind of place where Fatty would be either. Determined, Zack steps away from the door to investigate the other floors. Zack makes his way through the filthy, stained corridor until he reaches the third floor. It takes a rebellious teenager some time to get a feel for the floor's layout. This clearly isn't a restaurant. There are 3 rooms side by side, and all doors are closed. The corridor is unlit, and the lack of natural light makes it easy to forget that the sun is still outside. There's an ominous silence. Although Zack can hear some activity from the restaurant, it sounds like a strange echo from the faraway world. Alright, I should check this out first. I can't see anything. It's not just a matter of the window being too dirty. No light's coming through whatsoever. It looks like it's been sealed off from the other side. Zack can't make anything out from the spot. It's locked. Oh, it's locked. Don't budge one bit. No matter how hard Zack pushes, it doesn't have a keyhole, making Zack wonder how the owner intends to open it. He can make a faint sound from inside the room. It sounds like a cry. That's too quiet. Instead of further feeling out the door, he puts his ears close to it and listens.
The others aren't back yet. No, they're nowhere to be found. It's getting late. What a load of crap. Find a brass bell in such a big city, and it's supposed to be the size of a fist, right? Are we still have to go to the river to scare those strange fish? And the search for the bell? The search for the girl? These people we have to move around? Does it all give 10 pairs of hands or something? They made this mining business sound completely different. Now we're way too deep to quit. I'm telling you that. The photo talked about it. It's the exact same stuff as those upstairs. Did he? I've never seen him come here and act all smug and arrogant, ready to pick a fight. That guy took on 6 people at once. Nobody dares speak up when he's around. That's just talk. Whatever you say. Anyway, he's looking for something, and our boss is involved. Damn, what have I got myself into? Give me a bite out, will ya? I've only got 2, you damn leash. Okay, chill. I'll pay you back next time. I heard you say that you're way too many times already.
It's hard to make out exactly what's going on, but there's definitely some shady business going on around here. Anyway, now's not the right time to waste hand for the door. It's locked. Door budge one bit, no matter what Zack pushes. It doesn't have a keyhole, making Zack wonder how the owner intends to open it. And anyway, now it's not time to waste hand for the store. Something I didn't do was try to enter this door here that we shouldn't enter, but, you know, might as well. The door takes the 5th floor to the corridor as a new, modern cross-profile lock. It's incredibly difficult to open with professional tools. Zack tries sliding his credit card through a slit door, but of course, the card gets stuck. He feels like there's a cylindrical latch inside the card's no use, though Zack didn't think such a simple trick would work anyway. Okay. So it wasn't relevant, but might as well have done it. Alright, let's do the point of no return. Wait, is this new dialogue? I didn't think it was, maybe it is. Whatever. Do you ever see something? Or is there really nothing? Zack carefully observes his surroundings and attempts to find more clues. Zack discovers a line of fire stains on the ground. He gently touches one of them with his fingerprints. It's sticky substance, definitely not just water. This seems like mucus and liquid, like slime from a toad's skin, but it's way too much to have come from a toad. The trail looks like footprints? What could have possibly left those? Zack shakes his head and forces himself to focus. He needs to move. There's no point in hovering around. The room seems to be empty. With a deep breath, he mustered up the courage to push open the door and step inside. He has a feeling he may regret the decision. The foul smell that hits him is almost so bad he loses consciousness. It takes him a good 5 seconds before he can think straight. That's a good screenshot. A huge surgical operating table takes up most of the room. Many medical instruments are strewn about, and Zack can't notice the dry blood on most of them. He's concentrating so much on his surroundings, he almost misses the most obvious thing. A person. What's that symbol on the top right corner? Zack is repulsed. Every fiber of his body is warning him not to get closer, and his instincts are telling him to turn around and never return to this disgusting place. He's covered from head to toe in a cold sweat. He doesn't know what this is, but there's something unbelievably dangerous about this room. It reeks of dread and malice. However, he doesn't seem to be in fully in control of his body right now. No, just one more look around. 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 I can observe objects? Well, I've never noticed a symbol at the top right corner before, so maybe this is new? But, okay, I have to look out for that as well. Oh, okay, so it's a list. So to get from here to here, I have to go down, even though it's up and to the right. Okay. Let's examine the monitoring device first, I guess. Examine the monitoring device. Zack approaches the bed to examine the various surveillance screens next to it. They aren't turned on at the moment, and the dark screen doesn't seem to have any patterns on it. Zack can see a variety of cables going out on the back of the devices. They seem to have been assembled rather roughly, never to be disassembled again. These wires are clearly tangled up. The device is inscribed with various small letters that must have something to do with the name or make of the device. Lights pretty dim, but Zack does his best to make out the words. But he can't. Even if his eyesight were insanely good, he wouldn't be able to read any of the words engraved in the medical devices. Not surprisingly, Zack's English grades are pretty bad. Not even take account the fact that there are far more foreign languages than English. Dots are floating above the U and E, so German. And the lines are twisting to strange shapes, no part of which Zack can understand. Oh. Let's look around. His hands have been forced tied down, long metal needles have been inserted deep into his ears, and the neck looks painful. Many pairs of huge eyes next to each color. Wherever takes Zack isn't merely the scene in front of him, but what his mind makes of it. Sickening moans that go in his head. Nausea, including smells Zack's own imagination, is turning into a theater of macabre horrors, whatever that means. His vision's getting more and more blurry by the second, and his strained eyes begin to drift around the room, looking beyond the depths of the physical space. He starts at things that aren't actually even there. A vast sea with a shadowy silhouette of a Bua sitting in the lotus position far away in the distance. Instead of the usual light advancing from behind the head, countless arms encircle it. It just looks wrong. The only thing that Zack can compare it to is sitting octopus. It makes no sense. Malevolent, vengeful thoughts erupt his mind. Twisted arms, fierce fangs, huge eyes, one after the other. Twisted arms, fierce fangs, huge eyes. Twisted arms, fierce fangs, huge eyes. Twisted arms, fierce fangs, huge eyes. He's frozen in place. No idea as to where he is or what he's doing. He feels numb. It's as if his soul has left his body. That doesn't register or respond to anything around him anymore. The door behind him opens. A pair of huge eyes is staring at Zack from the shadows of the outside door. Zack jumps with fright. Fighting the fear, he musters up every ounce of physical strength he has left to throw a punch. He remembers what he heard in the bookstore. Admittedly, he didn't understand everything that was being discussed, but he knows that a certain UI village is stirring up trouble. Whatever is going on in this building is more than a simple string of kidnappings. In this case, it could be Patty? Zack has good reason to be hesitant. Well, I was gonna give him a gumshoe voice, but not doing that here. Oh boy. Such strength. Actually, Fatty's nickname has never had anything to do with his weight. Plenty of people stuff themselves with junk food and sodas, but Fatty earned his nickname through the brute force and physical strength. He's the human equivalent of a wrecking ball. There's no chance in hell he wouldn't fight against him. Strong muscles are visible underneath the skin. They aren't well defined, but they're quite genuine and imitating. On top of that, Fatty seems to have grown even taller somehow. Zack rubs his eyes to disbelief and takes a look at the strange yet oddly familiar figure in front of him. Sure, it's Fatty, those ears, the nose, the mouth, but he's changed. His eyes are bigger than before, to the point where it looks like they're about to pop out of their sockets. They're bright, but have a strange orangish yellow color. Still, it's Fatty, there's no doubt about that. Zack recognizes his friend anywhere. Zack steps forward and places his hand on Fatty's arm in a comforting manner. The skin feels harsh under the palm and almost stops him in his tracks. Man, I really had to come to a shithole like this to find you. He can't find the right words. Right now, he simply cannot figure out how to deal with his emotions. This is the only way for him to express his concern. Zack, brother. Take it easy. We'll catch up later. Let's get out here first. Fatty's responded. All he does is stand there in silence. Well? This isn't normal. Fatty's always talkative, straightforward, and foul-mouthed. Especially in front of Zack. Something isn't right about this. No matter how big of a fight they had in the past, the current situation should erase all that. Come on, we're gonna be here. We need to get you a doctor. Have you looked in the mirror lately? You weren't pretty to begin with. How are you ever gonna get a girl with a face like that? It's for your own good, so come with me. Zack doesn't get the reaction he was looking for. Instead, Fatty displays a variety of other emotions. Happiness, anger, worry, and Zack. Fatty growls in a way that's barely understandable. Do you know what this place is? Do you know how many people are here? How many people have... How many people how many people will we have to run from? I don't care. If we don't leave now, there's nothing. No! Not outside. No use. His blood body is expanding dramatically. He gasps for air as his mouth starts to foam. His tongue is flailing and lashing around. Wet slip noises drowning his words as saliva spatters across his face. Too late. Already. Now. Out. Go. Do it. I'm gonna kill my throat doing this voice. I regret that for his voice. Good God. Alright. That's ridiculous. There's a... That character time happens next. His body slams to the edge of the counter with enough force to break a rib. His lungs have trouble keeping up. He almost passes out. Why? Zach doesn't understand what's going on. Never before has he seen his friend so angry and unhinged. He just stands there, the pain is coursing through his body, telling him that this whole bizarre situation is actually happening. Coming here to save a friend was the right thing to do, no matter the circumstances. So the room just confirms that. But why all of this? Sound of heavy footsteps interrupts Zach's train of thought. You hide. The slimy, sticky sound draws near, but that's not all.
Mother. Great mother in a black dress. The wind nears, the storm approaches. Great mother in a black dress. Come back to me, great mother. The tea is good, the meat is rich. Come back to me, great mother. Return safely from the sea. I'll give you tea, I'll give you meat. Great mother in a black dress.
The strange chant. This time, however, Zach can make out the words, because they are closer now. Zach instantly remembers that one night. There's more to it than he thought. His whole body is controlled by a single primal emotion, fear. He's caught in the moment, unable to do anything. Robbed of his voice, unable to lift his arms, he's completely incapable of moving. Bat, on the other hand, is not. He grabs Zach by the neck, pushing him into a dark corner of the room. Zach slams into the wall once more, desperately scrambling for something to hold on to. But his hands touch something that's much colder than the wall. The entrance to the garbage chute.
Go, quickly. Get in.
Batty haphazardly pushes Zach into it as if he were an actual garbage bag. The passage is spacious, but clearly not intended for humans, and barely big enough for Zach to fit through. Batty is having some difficulty pushing Zach into it, but that's also part because Zach's trying to resist. Zach knows exactly what's about to happen, just as he knows that Batty can never fit to the chute.
Batty, hey, what are you doing?
Zach turns and calls his friend.
Don't be an idiot. I came here to help you. I'm not leaving without you.
The answer to Zach's explanation follows swiftly. Another push with Trent's power behind it.
Damn it. Go. Quickly.
Though Fatty's growling voice is loud and powerful, he's growing more distant now. Zach's body descends rapidly. He can hear a faint wailing sounds and fish striking flesh, and he can't hear anything. A sharp pain pulls him back to reality. Fortunately, the chute's up far enough above the ground that Zach manages to turn around in time to land on his back. Unfortunately, the impact is too much for Zach. He loses his breath and the ability to think for a moment. His instincts get back in. He has to escape. He has to survive. That's the only thought on his mind. His whole body turns. His bones creak and his joints crack under the pressure of each step. He moves towards bright light with his last tiny bit of energy has left. He can hear the car start. He can't smell the disgusting stench, and he can't see or hear the tall figure standing next to the trash, growling. He can't feel anything. I am pain. Darkness. Nothing but darkness. Welcome back. Did you find anything?
No, sorry, not yet. We were close to the restaurant when we suddenly heard a whole bunch of people turned up. They all look so aggressive.
Patience, Lil. You'll just have to wait a little longer.
But Zach...
It doesn't sound too good. Just takes the microphone, and I can hear plenty of background noise. As if to underline just his words, there seems to be a lot of growling and yelling going on the other end. It's very crowded right now, so don't let Nico get anywhere near me. I wouldn't have believed a place like that could slip on the radar in Mato if I hadn't seen my own eyes.
So, what should we do now?
retreat. Since they're seeing me in such a hurry, they probably don't have the situation under control, and I doubt that the uproar Zack is doing. In other words, I think the chances of Zack escaping are pretty high. I don't see much point in dwelling on it. Why don't we take advantage of the fact that they're so disorganized right now and check things for ourselves? I can already imagine how much of a mess would be inside, and make no mistake, right now they're probably more vigilant than ever. Don't go near that place. Yeah, I know. I have a plan. Salil, you know right from me. Where on earth did you run off to now? Still busy? Just before the stress and anxiety get the better of me, I hear a familiar voice. Thankfully, the visitor who's come to watch the show this time isn't wearing that familiar hat. I was gonna ask for help again, but it seems like to be a bad time. That's true. Unfortunately, I'm a handful. Let me just say, whatever you're planning, I really can't be of much help these next few days. Oh, let me give you this. Here. She sets a package wrapped in plastic down the table. It has an angular shape, and upon picking it up, it's a lot heavier than it looks. I can tell what's inside. It makes no sound whatsoever, as I shake it a little. What's this? Express delivery? Apparently, yeah. I found it by your door. Hard to believe that this place has a mailing address, even though its pesky door-to-door salesman leave you alone. Though you mentioned, I've never seen them around here. But anyway, that's besides the point. They can bring it to me. I'm sure the courier just dumped it because it didn't know what to do with it since we closed today. At least whoever sent it didn't put your phone number on the label. And check it out. All it says is a place named Hermitage. Cursors really need to get creative when it comes to finding addresses. Who knows? Maybe it's supposed to be addressed to Hermitage's business itself. I'm not the actual owner after all. How do you mean that? I mean it literally. I ignore Scarlett's confused look and take out the letter opener out of my drawer, then proceed to carefully open the package within it. The first thing I notice is the slightly dewy and damp smell. Another stack of old books. So it was him. Oh. As they met earlier? I'm just a little surprised. I would have never have thought he'd entrust these books to a stranger. Normally he would have delivered them in person. It's not like this place is crawling customers, but the ones that do come here have high standards. He makes sure to keep a stock with volumes that are hard to come by everywhere else. Though, some are way too exotic for anyone to actually be interested in them. Do you really need his help? I'm sure you have a say in what gets put on the shelves. Aren't you the manager now? It's okay. It's not as if I'm relying on it. I let him do his thing. I'm not one to judge somebody else's intentions or hobbies. To be honest, I'm not telling Scarlett the whole truth here. Things are bad enough already. And with everyone else on edge, I think telling her about the owner's peculiar backstory and antics, she might try to get me to move out and abandon Hermitage. The truth is that I have nowhere else to go. That's reason enough for me to keep the owner's secrets to myself instead of burden them someone else with it. I wonder how long I can keep this up, and how long these secrets can actually remain secret. The thought gives me a bad feeling, and I watch Scarlett curiously browse through the new arrivals. Here we go again. It's not a feeling. Lately it's been happening more and more frequently. What's wrong? Your lack of sleep catching up with you? No, I think it's something else. Listen to your body and treat with a little more respect. You and or your sedentary lifestyle will get the better of you. Oh, looks like he does have good taste every once in a while. Scott picks up a book that looks rather pristine compared to the others. Good taste, you mean this book? Yes, exactly. Strange. You would say that. I would have thought this was for a niche audience. Niche is new mainstream, haven't you heard? These days, it's easy to generate hype around stuff like this, especially with movies, games, and all kinds of merch being sold. It's part of pop culture. The game Nico is helping develop has the same theme, if I'm not mistaken. Does it? Looks like whoever's in charge of it knows what's popular and has a vision. Are you messing with me? Why would I? Trust me, this is the exactly kind of entertainment people are into these days. What strange times we live in. You can say that again. I've heard some kids are actually building altars in their backyards. Can you believe that? Many of them don't even have an idea where it all originates from. Part of me is to blame for blurring lines between what's real and what's fiction. Still, I'd rather have those kids playing around with that kind of stuff than seeing them get involved in anything that's actually dangerous. Speaking of danger, there's something I mean to talk to you about. I expected that. It's run over your face. Go ahead, what is it? You remember that sky pit incident? Another one of those holes has turned up. One of them was bad enough. Now there's a second one? You mean like the one that was close to the riverside viewing platform? Exactly. Luckily was far less traffic there than the site previous incident. This means that there's slightly less information will leak to the public too. An important international conference just around the corner, and one bad event keeps chasing the next. State officials are panicking. It's pure chaos. Did you ever go look there and look at it for yourself? Yeah, I did. The whole place is still reeked of ammonia when I got there, courtesy of the fire department's extinguishing work. Fire department's response to the incident makes me think I'm trying to piece everything together. Maybe there is a connection to the previous incident. So the rumors about it being an explosion aren't true. You'll find out soon enough. Scott press play, and part of the screen suddenly turns white. Turns out things aren't quite so simple and can't be explained by the rumors floating around. What appears on the screen is more like a lightning bolt than a fireball. I started looking for more clues in all the videos. Sure enough, people are terrified. Even if you're the most courageous person on Earth, it'd be normal to make run for a situation like that. Nobody even turned back for the others. They're frantically running around like a bunch of panicked rabbits. Pay attention to the people there. They're heading south towards a big crowd. I can see several shadows almost swallowed up by the debris. 2 people trip and fall while run away, but the others make it. In the follow strands video, several men in police uniforms can be seen, keeping the people away from the crowd. They're carrying something in their mouths. It looks like whistles. Stop. This is it. The time code freezes. 14:58:18. Was there an explosion in this case too? It looks like this, just like what happened at the viewing platform. It happened late at night. Sirens and eyewitnesses reports around this time. The people who were there, or at least close by, all mentioned loud noises and blinding lights. I got close, so I have a pretty good idea of what the site of the incident looks like. Let's go outside and start scrubbing our temples. It looks eerily similar to the gaping hole from last time. Something unbelievably hot burned a hole straight through the ground, and somebody scooped out a large chunk of asphalt as for ice cream. That would be close to impossible to replicate. It can't be a coincidence. One of those eyewitnesses happened to look directly at the spot when it happened, and reported something interesting. Interesting? Were they blinded by the light? Not right away, at least. The witness says they saw a large silhouette at the center of the light when it happened. What kind of silhouette? That makes it sound like a scene from a sci-fi movie. They mentioned the silhouette being extremely tall, at 2 meters at the very least. Of course, we have to remain skeptical. Only one person reported having seen it. Human eyes aren't made for staring at bright lights, and it might as well have been an optical illusion. You're right, we can't rule out the idea that it was just a mirage. I'm not sure that's the right word for it. Think about it. From everything you described, the air around the incident site must have been brimming with heat. That would conflict with the eyewitness reports because nobody could just stand around such extreme heat. Hey, just for a moment? Oh, well, I don't know. I don't have enough time to... I don't think we have enough to go on yet. And wild guesses won't do us any favors. Let's just set aside the mysterious silhouette and whether it's real or not for now. The fact remains that the same thing happened twice in the city. We should focus on that and dig deeper. We can't just catch a break, can we? What's the other stuff? Call up Justin and let him work the job. I'm sure it's more exciting than whatever he's doing now. I'm not too sure excitement what he's after. You should ask him for himself. I'm sure you'll have an easier time persuading him. I'll doubt he'll say no if you see him face to face. You really think so? I doubt that, I'm not. Save your breath. As far as I'm concerned, it's settled. Thanks for advance. Scott picks up the crumpled package and gets up. I'll see if I can get some more information out on those witnesses. I'll be in touch if I find anything new. And I'll be in touch if I need your help. Scott shoots me a nonchalant glance, but doesn't say anything. She's always so hard to read. With the plastic wrapping from the book delivery in hand, she walks out the door. Can't I just call time out? Murder mystery cases with a supernatural background, and now unexplained natural disasters. And Scarlet once said, there's a fine line behind which things can no longer be considered consequences, and that line has not only been crossed, but stomped on and erased a long time ago. Something shady is brewing in the city, but what is it? Based on ominous promotion, I can't help but worry about when we might bite off more than we chew. Anyway, let's tackle this case. Problems keep piling up on top of the already existing ones. I slap myself lightly on the cheek in an effort to get my head back in the game. Until we get Zack back, I'm afraid troubles have only just started. Pain. That's the first thing he feels when he wakes up. It sweeps over him like a wave of anguish, but no matter how hard he tries, he's unable to scream. Slowly but surely, he comes back to his senses. He's surrounded by a tranquil silence. The only thing he hears is the soft howling of the wind in the trees. That's when he notices a stench, so foul it makes him pass out again. Where is he? He tries to turn his head to his surroundings, but his body won't react. Maybe he can move his eyes if he focuses with all his might, but that's just wishful thinking. To make matters worse, now he realizes that the foul, nausea-inducing stench is coming from his own body. Did someone move him here? Or is this just where he landed? Someone might know the answer to that, but that somebody isn't him. He doesn't know how I ended up here, but in retrospect, he doesn't regret anything. Right now, there's nothing to do for him but to lie on the ground and stare at the night sky. His thoughts are getting clearer, images and voices echoing in his head. Go. Get in. Damn it. Get out. Quickly. Fatty's never acted that way before. It's not like him at all. Still, his friend only wanted him to help, even if it was an unexpectedly rough way. And Zack's the kind of person constantly look forward in life, facing things head on. Something that sounds fun, go for it. Some doesn't, leave it be. Life's as simple as that. No need to think about everything too much. Just be yourself. Thinking about too much about stuff just makes things more complicated. That's the attitude he's always had, even if his peers kept mocking him for it. Looking back, he realizes his impulsive outbursts have hurt others he cares about. He was completely unaware. Otherwise, he would have drifted away from the street life. But seeing himself now, covered in mud, beaten and bruised on the ground, he's not the same student he once was. Maybe he ditched it all in an attempt to wash his hands clean, to run away from his problems so they wouldn't catch up to haunt him. But running away never solves anything. Zack's a troublemaker who dislikes using his brain too much, but he still didn't throw the first punch in this fight, right? The world did. Damn, this is so frustrating. His hoarse voice cuts through the quiet night. He gives up on trying to move. He can feel something wet trickling from the corners of his eyes. Hang in there, fatty. For the first time in ages, Zack feels remorse, an emotion he kept buried for far too long. He knows exactly what he has to do. Get back inside that wicked building and get Fatty out of there. His mind is blank. He's not used to thinking things through, because it's always seemed easier that way. He's going through life on instinct for far too long. He needs help. Hey, are you still alive? Startled by the voice, Zack attempts to find out where it's coming from, but his stiff neck won't budge. Since approaching him, a man with a deep, powerful voice that Zack doesn't recognize. Who is he? Zack wants to answer the question with a question, but quickly scraps the idea. The man's voice sounds so self-assured and relaxed. It seems as if he knows more about what's happened here than Zack himself. His voice automatically commands attention. Zack feels a little better at the thought of not being alone, giving him some needed energy. Would you like some water? Whoever is speaking doesn't wait for Zack to answer, only for him to muster up the strength to follow through with his own question. The sudden sense of a cold liquid against Zack's lips interrupts his train of thought. He tries to open his mouth a bit. It's easy to choke while drinking in his current position on the ground, but he doesn't care about that right now. Whoever this man is, his arrival will save Zack's life ever since the word. Better? Yeah, thanks. You're welcome. I admire you, you know. You've got a tough gaze. It would be a shame to let that go to waste. Waste? Don't worry about it. It's just a personal preference of mine. Laying something like that go would be missing a great opportunity.
I don't understand. What are you trying to say?
Whenever you want to reach your goals, no matter how unachievable they may seem, you have to change yourself. There are many opportunities for change, but there's always a high price to pay. If you want to change something, you have to take action. Hiding away in a corner won't do you any good. The man keeps rambling on while giving Zack some more water. After a long rest, Zack can finally see clearly again. The man crouched next to him is pretty tall and imposing. Let's see how much you remember. There's something you wanted to do, right? Zack nods. No matter what this man actually knows, he's Zack's only chance. Whatever it is, you can't do it alone. Zack nods again. He has to use his brain and his fists if need be, but he's afraid that'll be enough. This is his chance to ask for help, even if it means having to beg. But that isn't the issue here. As long as Fatty is trapped in the building, there are obstacles that Zack can overcome yet. Zack doesn't say anything. He doesn't see the point in explaining everything to the stranger, who doesn't seem like he's ready to listen anyways. Ultimately, the question is, are you ready to make sacrifices to reach your own goal? I mean, as in sacrificing yourself. Zack still can't make out the man's face, but he can hear him chuckling to himself. Something is right with this guy. He sounds as if the devil's whispering in Zack's ear, and every word he says is full of hidden intent. Zack doesn't understand what the hidden intent is, but he expects nothing good. That doesn't stop Zack from nodding a third time. I give it all up. Life only gives you one chance. Miss out on it, and it'll never come back. Rescuing Fatty will come at a high price, but Zack is ready to pay for his recklessness. If he never returns to his old life, then so be it. The man's silence makes Zack uncomfortable. Hey, if you have to say something, just say it. The response he gets from the falling leaves and evening breeze. The stranger's figure grows taller and gazes into Zack's eyes. He places water barbell next to him and pulls out something else from his pocket. Is that so? Well, you'll find out soon enough. If you want to do something at all, why not start with the water? Those guys can't go a day without it. It's what gives them energy. Ultimately, none of them are purebloods, just half-assed jokes. Why are you telling me this? Good question. I wish I knew. Keep fighting, you hear? They don't take kindly to failures. No. Those are the last words before Zack passes out again. Yeah, what a ending. Probably show's ending. Looks like I've already missed it. I don't really care. Anything in the forums? Nothing in the forums. Surprised. Quite surprised by that. And nothing text messages. What's case files? Oh, just the questions we got. Okay. Alright, but yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode of Hermitage here. Well, see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.